Hey everyone. I'm just here to do a little update about a few things. I'll start off with my hip. You guys know I've been complaining about my hip hurting like really bad lately. So finally, I haven't really been working out at all, and it's been really bugging me because I'm gaining weight like instantly. So, like, especially being on the Clomid and everything. So the other night, my husband and I went for a walk when he got home from work, and that night I didn't sleep at all. I was in so much pain. And that morning driving to work, I was hysterically crying. It hurt so bad. And I mean, I've injured myself pretty bad. I mean, I went 8 years with gallbladder pain. Like I can deal with it, but this was bad. So I finally gave in and I went to the doctor yesterday. And the consensus is that I have bursitis on the outside of my hip, which is like an inflammation, like water pockets. I don't know. She tried to explain it to me. I'm sitting on my sciatic nerve, which is why my foot keeps going numb. And my socket is getting where it like goes in. It's getting stuck and it's grinding. So the movement of just walking is grinding, so it's painful. So on top of that, all the muscles are now like tight. So it's bad. It's really bad. So the plan is to continue acupuncture. And I love that my doctor supports that because a lot of other doctors think it's a crock of shit. So I love that she's like, continue that. It will help. So I'm continuing acupuncture, but then I also have to go get a cortisone shot in my hip to get the inflammation down. So I have an appointment on the 17th. Apparently, it's safe during pregnancy, but I told her that I'm probably not pregnant, so we won't have to worry about that. But I want to get it done before I do IVF. So that's what's going on with my hip. So I'm okay today, but it's been pretty bad, and it probably will get worse as the morning goes on. I tried not to sleep on that side last night, so I think that definitely helped. So I woke up this morning to a beautiful bouquet of pink and white roses and the sweetest card from my husband that like instantly made me just bawl. And then I opened up the fridge and he got me chocolate covered strawberries, which are like my favorite. Because today is our 1 year anniversary of the loss of our daughter. And I was just going along with the week, just like treating it like no other week. And I didn't realize how bad my husband was hurting and how sad he is that we don't have a family. Because we don't really talk about that. And now we've started to kind of open up and be like, well, if it doesn't happen, like, what's next? Like, when do we stop? I mean, it's 3 years. Like, 3 years of our life has been dedicated to making a family, and nothing is, well, we did get pregnant, but then we miscarried, and to be a year later and not have anything, not even a BFP, is frustrating and totally not what I pictured. I remember after I miscarried, my friends that have miscarried got pregnant either the first or second cycle after they miscarried or had a chemical or whatever. So I was so hopeful that by the time we reach October next year, like, we will either have a baby in our arms or we will be pregnant. And to not be pregnant, I just feel like it's not meant to be if it's not happening. And like, when do we, I mean, we're gonna do IVF, and I'm excited about that. But, if IVF doesn't work, do we do it again? Do we stop? Like, there's so many questions in the air right now that I just never, ever, ever imagined this is where we would be. Never. I never thought that this is where we would be, ever. And it's crazy to just. I wish I at least got, even another BFP and I miscarried. I just wish I had another something, an inkling that maybe I'll get pregnant again. But I just don't. I don't have that. And now, with this cycle, I'm not really positive about it because I get LH surges all the time, but I don't ovulate. So, alright, they said all my blood work pointed that I was ovulating, but what if it didn't ever release the egg? Like, what if that's an issue? Not doing the trigger. So, it's all great and dandy that I had a surge, but I have a surge anyway. Sometimes I have a surge at cycle day 40 in my 60-day cycle. But am I actually releasing an egg? So, I'm not hopeful that this cycle's going to work at all. I'm not even the slightest bit positive about it. I just want to get to the end of it and start IVF and just go with that and just pray and hope that IVF works the first time around. It's just, I just remember waking up last year and just I knew instantly that I miscarried, even though I saw her 3 days before, bouncing around, wiggling her arms. Heart rate was beautiful. And then I woke up bleeding, and I just knew instantly. My HCG level dropped. It must have been dropping before, because my body knew that, because my uterus was smaller, so my uterus stopped growing, but the baby kept growing, so my HCG level must have dropped consistently over the 2 weeks previous. And because there was a 2-week difference between my uterus and the baby's size. So it's just crazy. That day will forever, ever, ever change my life. And I shouldn't have done my makeup for you guys, because now I'm all crying. I just didn't think that I really would be sitting here a year later with nothing. Not even a positive inclination that I am going to be pregnant. I just know it's not going to work. And I know that's terrible to say, be positive, be positive. I know, I'm trying, but I just don't, I don't know, I'm positive one minute, but the other minute I bring myself back to reality and say, we've been doing this for 3 years, and it's just not happening. It's just not. The drugs aren't even touching me. The injectables didn't even touch me. Clomid didn't even touch me. The Clomid made me ovulate earlier, but I still only ovulated one. And they put me on cycle days 3 through 7 to try and get more follicles, and I still only got one follicle. So, I don't know. I'm just sad today. And I don't want to go to work. Luckily, we get out early today because the Red Sox are playing in the playoffs. So my CFO is like, leave at 2:45 and enjoy your weekend. So I love our new CFO, and I wish he could run the company because he's fabulous. But so I'm excited about that, and I'm excited that my husband and I have dinner plans tonight at our favorite restaurant to kind of just be adults and forget about everything. And then yeah, so that's where we stand. I'm just having a really rough few days between my hip and the anniversary, and I'm 2 DPO right now, and I don't ever even care about testing, to be honest. I really don't. I think this is the first cycle that I'm just like, screw it. I just don't even. It's gonna be negative, and I'm tired of constant disappointment and setting myself up for failure and continuing on. And it's so hard. And it is such a struggle to constantly disappoint yourself. Like, you're not only do I feel like I'm disappointing my husband, but I feel like I'm disappointing myself, and I get my hopes up and then they come crashing down, and then I'm a disaster zone for 3 days. Like, I'm just gonna not do that this month and not get my hopes up, and it's just another cycle in the books, and we'll move on, and hopefully IVF is what we need, and yeah, so we'll go from there. So this may sad, soppy, I just needed to cry to YouTube video. um but my husband did amazing this morning, and I'm so lucky I have him. And I'm so excited to eat those chocolate covered strawberries today. But I will talk to you guys later. I will give you guys an update once we get closer. I have to do blood work on the 16th, and then I have an appointment with my RE on the 18th to finalize and sign the consent forms for IVF. So I'll start the birth control for 3 weeks and Lupron halfway through, and then go into injectables. So I just have to go meet with her and sign all the contracts and all of that, sign our lives away for IVF, and go through our protocol, which is what I just said: birth control, Lupron, and then I'll do Follistim and switch over to Gonalef. And then we will do a 5-day transfer, and we will transfer 1 or 2 embryos depending on our decision. And that will be it. So from the math from this cycle, it looks like we'll be doing the retrieval and the transfer around Thanksgiving. So it's exciting, and I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. Thank you for listening and always being an amazing support system for me. And I truly, truly, truly appreciate every single one of you. And yeah, you guys are amazing. And the support and the love and the friendship that I've gotten from here is just crazy. It's crazy. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful I can come on here and cry to you guys and not be embarrassed about it and just let it all out. It's an outlet that you can't really get anywhere else, and I'm so thankful for it. So I will talk to you guys soon. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you later.